Last Judge bars the way into Act 2. And if you're sick of her Goomba stomping you back down the wasted steps, then listen close. This is the first boss where I think it's worth talking about the run back because this one is a doozy. You want to find this bench and run right through the scene change, and keep running and jump to the next platform without letting go of the sprint button. If you land holding sprint, then you'll continue sprinting, and that will let you do a sprint jump off this small platform to weave right by this conch-cutting hell spawn. Then make it up to this small platform and wall jump your way up to this skinny shortcut, ignoring all the enemies around this area. Then you can jump across this bell and float down past these other bells before wall jumping back up to get to this small bell platforming section that can mostly be floated past. It's faster to hit the pogo though and dash into the arena. Now into the meat grinder. Make sure you've upgraded your needle and bell heart first, and if you have crest options, then Wanderer's Crest is probably the strongest choice in this fight, although I'm a hunter main through and through. Last Judge has 3 primary attacks in Phase 1. Her Thurible Throw, which she'll start the fight with in your first encounter, Thurible Spin, and a Jumping Slam attack. It's important to learn the tells for each of these attacks. She'll raise her weapon arm back and up before tossing out the Thurible, which arcs down from her head. This is fairly easy to run under. The real trick is avoiding it as she drags it quickly back across the floor. Jump and float to help avoid it. If you're within reach after the toss, you have a moment for some quick strikes before you have to jump over the pull. She does a mini spin of the Thurible before the spin attack animation starts, giving you just enough time to dash and sprint away before getting hit. The slam is much more obvious, since she jumps into the air and hangs for a moment with her sensor above her head. If you stick to one movement direction while she's airborne, then you should avoid the hit pretty easily. But she will jump and move around the stage without doing the attack, and eating the contact damage is no joke. You want to keep the Last Judge in frame so you can keep tabs of how she's moving and what attack is coming next. And the best times to heal will be while she's committed to an attack animation that you've preemptively dodged, like the Thurible Toss and Spin. Last Judge has downtime after each attack to get in damage, but the windows are small. It's important to create a cyclical rotation of attacking and giving her space to avoid the next attack. I like dash attack, slash, and then a delayed slash that gives you a chance to dash out if you need to instead. Once you've taken out about a third of the Last Judge's health, things get lit, as in she lights her sensor on fire. But what should be a big power-up for Phase 2 is also her greatest weakness. This gives basically all of her attacks some fire damage, and so equipping the Magma Bell, which you can buy from Forge Daughter, will have most of her attacks going from dealing 2 masks of damage down to 1. Barring the tool's quick recharge time, of course. In this phase, Last Judge holds to the age-old Silksong trope of punishing you for all the habits you formed in the first phase, changing each of her attacks slightly and adding a new one. She'll start the phase with a Thurible Spin, which now creates pillars of flame. All you can really do in this phase is stay between the pillars by watching out for the smoke that telegraphs them. I also like to fire a Curve Claw or 2 at her while she's still. The Thurible Throw now explodes after landing on the ground, and the area of effect is a little unclear, so be sure to create some distance before it detonates. The Slam has the biggest change, now igniting the ground in flame after she lands. The extra time of this attack is a great opportunity to pogo her, or use a silk skill like Threadstorm for big chunks of damage while she plays The Floor is Lava. Finally, she'll now wind up and charge across the stage, leaving behind multiple erupting flame pillars. The best move is to pogo over her and then float safely between the pillars. But the charge doesn't cover the whole stage, so it is possible to sprint away from her instead if you have space in the arena. Either way, you want to avoid getting cornered in this fight. Last Judge is tall and jumps all around. Getting boxed in is a death sentence. Last Judge will also do an enhanced Thurible Spin as she gets low on health that lasts for longer and requires you to dodge multiple waves of flame pillars. Once you wait out this attack, use all the silk and tool uses you have left to push your way to the finish line. Of course, you're not out of the oven yet. Many Hornets have been roasted alive as Last Judge's fiery hands grasp them from the grave. You'll have to start the fight from the beginning if you don't avoid that retributive explosion. If you survive, then the path is clear to Act 2, assuming you haven't found your way there via another path already.